Alright class, settle down, class is in session. Everyone get to your seats. Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is the Yukitsu Times. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Don't Starve Adventure Mode. This is the second part of it. In case you didn't notice, we're at a different level. This is the King of Winter. The reason that I'm in a different place right now is because I actually died in the other adventure mode file that I was going through, and I don't save scum. So the reason I did end up dying was because in that particular playthrough I encountered something new, and I wanted to figure out the best sort of ways to get around it, which ways worked, which ways didn't. For those of you wondering what that was an entire wall of spider queens. So a lot of margin of error potential there. So they kicked my ass, and once they killed me, I had to start over again. But the best way I could figure that you would get through that is by taking the spider queens and just lighting them on fire using fire darts. And you'd want to use the fire darts rather than the other ones, since it's almost impossible to get a ruby staff in the adventure mode. But if you do happen to get a ruby staff in adventure mode, that'd be fantastic. Let's see here. I'm going to set up some traps here. We're in King of Winter, which means that it is constantly winter. And that means that we're going to want to actually do the thing I always say not to do, which is hunt rabbits. And the reason that we're going to have to hunt some rabbits is that we need a pair of rabbit earmuffs. And they are the worst protection against the cold. The problem is there are only potential protection against the cold right now. So we're going to have to throw down a fire pretty soon. Well, we got a fire, but it's not enough. So let's get back by it. So the thing about King of Winter is with constant winter, you're going to be in trouble a lot of the time. We've got a shadow manipulator that we can build, but we don't have anywhere near the stuff required to build a shadow manipulator. That's the most useless thing. You start with rabbit earmuff blueprints though. Those will be useful. So we're just going to try and get another trap potentially. Well, let's get this a little bit better position here. There we go. See if we can chase that rabbit into that hole. Yep, there we go. That's one. See if we can chase him away there. Let's get that out there. And let's see if we can... We're going to have to loop around a little bit. Let's see if we can... No. Okay, well, we'll see where he goes in the morning when he wakes up. Let's just add a little bit of fuel to this fire, though. There we go. Now, the good thing about the shadow manipulator recipe is that, in theory, since I have started also with a red gem, I could end up getting it into a fire staff, which would be useful later on. The thing is, I'm never going to be able to get this much living wood and nightmare fuel in adventure mode. It's just not going to happen. So, we're just going to run around real quick. I'm just going to try and grab some stuff before I start freezing to death too badly, before I get back to the fire. But as you can see, you're just severely, severely restricted in how much you can actually move. And that makes this a very dull level. I actually think it was a poor design decision to have it work like this, just because the main restriction to this level, unlike others, is that you can't really move away from wherever it is you are. You're just constantly being told, you know, you have to go back because otherwise you'll freeze to death. So, if you find yourself in King of Winter, this is one of the ones that I would actually recommend simply restarting, since you can't really afford to start here. Starting here, you end up in a situation where you can't advance very easily until you've gotten certain things going on for you, and that includes things like having those rabbit earmuffs, and even then, you can only move forward at a snail's pace, really. Let's see if there's anything near here. No, it doesn't seem like there's anything directly near us, so we've also got that issue. We don't have anything going on as far as that goes. That's our last, the last of our that stuff. So we're... Oh, good. No, we can build one axe. We can build one axe, so we're not totally screwed. So, just gonna wait till we're heated up a little bit and then get as much as we can. Our heat stone is glowing red hot, which is good. The thing is, though, like, it doesn't seem to help as much as you would think it should. Fully orange heat stone gives me an extra, like, 2 seconds, which is kind of nonsense. It should really do a bit more than that. Okay, so it looks like there's plenty of grass, but there's no sticks. Last time I did this, there was no grass. if you find yourself playing King of Winter and there's no grass, it is literally unwinnable, as far as I can tell. Because you can't catch the rabbits to make the earmuffs, and you can't make, like, anything that you really need here, including fires. The big thing being, if you can't make fires, then how are you supposed to do anything, obviously? So, try not to play King of Winter when there's no grass. Just definitely restart if that happens. There's probably some way around it. I just don't think it would be fun or interesting to do. The thing that you could do with Willow, I suppose, is you could start just lighting everything on fire. However, if you make a wrong turn or something and have to backtrack an area and you've done that, in all odds you completely screwed yourself over. So, you know, even then, not really going to be something that I would call worth it. Anyway, I'll be back come morning. Once my dog stops barking, I hopefully will be back. Alright, good morning YouTube. We're back. We're gonna go run out and quickly grab ourselves some gear. Again, hopefully one of those rabbits will stumble into one of those holes, or into one of those baskets. Other than that, we're basically going to be screwed, but you know what? That's pretty much the state of things here. Just gonna need a stick for sure, because we need it if we catch one of those rabbits. I would like it if we had a carrot, but we don't, so you know, tough luck for us. There's one up there, actually. We'll see if we've caught a rabbit, and if not, then we'll use one of these to catch a rabbit, since carrots make that a lot easier. Of course, you know, they're not actually that efficient as far as hunting their rabbits goes, if you're just trying to get rabbits, simply because a carrot is almost as good food as the rabbit is. It's just that if that's your only option, that's your only option, really. Okay, let's see where we put our baskets here. No rabbit out there yet. Rabbits have stayed in their holes, so we haven't gotten anything yet. We're gonna have to go right back to the fire, though. Stand by it for a little while. We can throw some grass tufts in there, maybe. Okay. That'll keep us a little bit warmer. Looks like the rabbits have woken up now, so let's see what we can do about this. Nope, that one hasn't woken up. Don't think that one's woken up yet. It's just this one up here for some reason. Oh dear. Okay, well, we don't have enough sticks to make another trap, so let's just run around and do what else we can. Take this stick here. Still can't really use it because we need it in case we catch a rabbit. I like how all the rabbits are awake except for the ones near the holes that I've put traps by. It's just so typical. Anyway, just gonna run back before he freezes to death. Might be able to chop a tree on our next run, who knows. Okay. Where was our fire? It was, I think, just... yeah, right here. Okay. Get nice and warm there. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna pull this trap and put it somewhere else then. Let's try up here. So chase this rabbit away a little bit. Okay. Might be good. No, we ran just past it. Okay, should be good. Huh. How annoying. Okay, let's check our other trap, see how it's doing. Good, it's got a rabbit in it. Perfect. Okay. Let's make ourselves those rabbit earmuffs. Perfect. That'll help a ton. A ton. Okay, so let's get to exploring a little bit here. Doesn't sound like anything is too nearby us. Okay, what I'm going to do is put these rabbit traps out, even though we're going to go out exploring. The reason being that they'll probably have rabbits in them by the time we get back. Or, you know, the rabbits will just run right through them, one of the two. They did make it harder, if I recall, at some point to actually get a rabbit this way, but, you know, it's still the best way to do it, in my opinion, just because, honestly, a carrot, you may as well just eat the carrot. The reason being that you want to catch them all is to make a rabbit earmuff, and the rabbit earmuffs do kind of suck. It's still better than nothing, though. So, here we go. Nice little fire. And we're just going to hang out here until our heat stone is nice and hot. Let's see, let's get our sanity back up a little bit too. Anyway, as you can see, very short days. We're going to have to sit out this night, I think, again, just because we had to waste so much time in the morning waiting for those rabbits. And I'm going to end up having to waste a lot of time this night waiting for my heat stone to warm up. Actually, I should have dropped it by the fire before I ran off to do this, so let's do that now, and then go get those berries and chop down some trees. Other than that, though, I'm just going to be doing all that good stuff. I will see you in the morning. Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to morning. Welcome back to us frantically running to try and figure out where the things all are. Our heat stone is fully heated up, and we're on our way, so let's get this thing out here. Now, apparently we have absolutely no idea where it is currently, so we're just going to have to start running around in circles until we find somewhere that's a little bit more amicable to this thing's detection radius, which is pretty short, so it makes it a little bit easier to zero in on it once you're actually getting near it. We're just going to have to run like heck, though, since our heat sources are going to run out fairly quickly. Okay, there's a boon up here. This actually is useful. It might not look like it, but it is. These stones can be used to make the alchemy engine once we get to somewhere where we've got gold. So picking those up, perfectly fine. Just get on our way, though. Just trying to listen for the tone on this thing. It sounds like we're getting a little bit closer to something here. Let's see. No, that sounds further away. Let's try down this way. Now, one of the things you can do, especially as Willow in King of Winter, is you pull out your lighter, and if you find some sort of isolated tree or whatever, and you feel like you're getting a little bit chilly, you just light the tree on fire. Okay. It's making some kind of noise. We're still far away from anything. It might be something across this water here, so let's try getting across there. Now, you can burn down huge forests as Willow if you want to heat up that way. It is kind of a one-way street. For instance, I could start burning this area, and it would very rapidly heat me up, and it would rapidly increase my sanity. The problem is, if you're doing that, you can't go back, track that area very easily or efficiently simply because you've burned all the resources. So now you kind of have to make sure that if you go there again, you know what's there. Otherwise, you'll go there and there'll be no trees to cut down, there'll be nothing to burn if you're desperate. So, you know, use it as that method of last resort if you have to. Or you can do that sort of if there is no grass and you can't build the rabbit earmuffs for whatever reason. So, looks like we found ourselves a pig village, so that'll be a good place to stock up on things. Just gonna do that here. Especially if we can find ourselves some food. I'm gonna get this berry before the gobbler can get it. Okay, so we're closer if we stand here. Let's see. Uh-oh. Shoot. Okay, well, gobbler got to those. That's fine, though. Okay, so it's closer to this way, it seems. Is there a land bridge here? Yeah, it looks like there's a bridge here, so we're gonna have to figure out how to get across whatever this is. Oh, this is a sanity bridge. Okay, so you get across these by going insane. Once you've gone insane, you can get across it, and then you have to regain your sanity once you're on the other side. So, a tricky thing to get past. I'm not going to try and attempt that just yet, but I do know there's a piece on the other side of that. We're going to want to get some more gear or something before we attempt that, so let's just check our map for other potential locations. We're finally starting to get cold here, so we're going to have to stop for the night. As long as I don't bulk up this campfire, this should be relatively safe. When you're at your campfire, take off your earmuffs. It'll preserve them for a little bit longer so that they can last you through more whatever the hell it is you're doing. So let's just grab all this stuff up. So when I'm here, I just need to make sure that I'm keeping my fires in control. So let's just chop down some more of these trees, though. Okay. And we'll just have to keep doing this, adding more fuel to this as we go. Yeah, that's still good. Okay. If you add too much heat, you're going to light the trees that are adjacent on fire, start a gigantic forest fire, and then you're going to have to run through the night in that sort of typical way that you've seen me do a million times before. So it's not too terrible, but it can be annoying at times. Anyway, this is going to be another sort of night, another typical one, so I will see you in the morning. Hey there YouTube, and we're back. As you can see, I did find the ring thing. If you are wondering how that was, I actually was basically just camping right near it, so I just figured I'd go run and get it. Nothing interesting happened, I just walked up, grabbed it. Pretty easy. Again, this thing starts beeping, going red, and your character will start saying how annoying the beepy thing is, so pretty easy to find. Just have to sort of home in around it, and then go for the next one. So at this point in time, we're just going to be running as best we can through the forest here, trying to get sort of figure out where it could potentially be. You do sort of have to stick near the side sometimes, since it tends to be in little off-putting little side branches of the world, which are really annoying to get through sometimes because they're guarded by monsters. But in this particular world, monsters are one of the least of our concerns, so we're just gonna try and make our way through this place as best we can. So our food stocks are looking okay, but that's a bit deceptive in this world. One of the things that's bad about it is that food doesn't really regenerate here, so unless you're catching a lot of rabbits, you're typically not going to have a very sustainable food source. Carrots never grow back on their own. You have to have farms, and farms don't work here, obviously. But what's different is, berries also don't work here. The berry bushes don't regrow their fruit in winter, as far as I've ever been able to tell. So you just sort of have what you have, and that's that. So we've got another separate landmass over here. Probably means we're going to have to cross some sort of land bridge to get across that's going to have some sort of guardians. If we're lucky, there's going to be no guardians. Looks like we're lucky. That's good. That's good. Looks like that wasn't actually... I should pay attention to the map. This is actually just near to our spawn and had a little lake separating it. Anyway, we're going to run along this side now, see what's up. And the good thing about exploring these new areas is that we haven't touched the berries or the other food yet, so we can get across pretty safely. This is not too bad for us. And we're just going to continue on up until we've got another lock on. But until then, I don't think you really need to see what I'm doing, since it's literally just running around the perimeter of the map, exploring. If I see something that's threatening, I might come back, but in all honesty, it's the cold that's going to try and kill me, and there's plenty of cold, believe you me. Now that I've got the earmuffs, I can travel out a lot further, as you can tell. But as you can see, our heat stone is reaching 0 already, so we're going to have to set up camp again anyway, and it's almost night as well. So I will check back again in the next episode. I think this is a pretty good stopping point. So I know that this hasn't been all that informative yet, since I haven't really done anything. All I've talked about is, get the rabbit earmuffs and keep your campfires up, and keep your heat going. But yeah, just some little tips to remember is, if you're by your fire, you take off your earmuffs because you don't need them. You can capture those rabbits without having to expend too many resources, so try and do that if you can. If you can't, use a carrot, and just try and stay warm as best you can. Anyway, I hope you found this informative, and I hope to see you all for the next part of this. Hopefully I'll be finishing up King of Winter pretty quickly, and hopefully the next world will be less crappy.